Other questions? Yes. Sorry, I didn't hear the question. You mean the signature-based system, or to tuning? Okay, okay, to tune our system. So you mean for setting the threshold and cleaning the dataset? So the question is how we plan to clean the dataset, how we plan to set the threshold. Okay, well, that is statistic-based, and we have to look at the world of statistics. So let's think, for example, that if we have a data set, we can apply a light anomaly detection on the data set, and we can take out what is really unlike the samples that are inside the data set. So again, for example, data mining techniques, for example. And because we can make these, well, in this case, we need online and real-time intrusion detection system. If we are thinking about cleaning a data set, we can think that this operation can be also made offline. So we can apply techniques that are really CPU time consuming because we can afford this in that moment. So we are planning to use, well, we are already using data mining techniques to clean the data set. And setting the threshold, there are several approaches, like, for example, yeah, in any case, we have to look at the samples. And to determine if it's good, for example, to take the maximum distance between the current sample and our model to set the threshold, or to see the distribution and decide, okay, we have the mean and this is the variance and we are going to take this value. So anyway, statistical approaches. Unfortunately, there is, even a human cannot determine this. Because the human, what the human can do is just set a threshold, see if it's good, and then lower it or make it greater. But that's the only point that the human can do. So, yeah, of course, the automatic way cannot be the right solution, but we are trying to do that. Yes? Yeah, that's the point. Well, let's say that, okay, the question is how we manage the UDP packets. Well, let's say this. Poseidon can handle also UDP packets if there is a payload inside. So this is not really the problem. But if we think about UDP services, then we have to consider maybe they are not going to produce output. And that's the point. So let's say that we didn't benchmark yet the application, also because you need a data set to do this. And right now, I have tried to ask for several data sets also to publish them, but the answer is always no, because of privacy. So let's say that if there is somebody interested and we want to make a study on a certain field, then we can do that. But right now, I can only say to you, well, okay, if there is the response, Aphrodite can work. If there is no response, I have to cut off the exception and have to hope that... but in that case, we go for something like host intrusion detection system in that case, on the application side. There was somebody? Yes. Okay, this is a good question because, well, let's say that right now we didn't put inside the Poseidon a fragmentation, the reassembly of the fragment. There are some issues with this. I mean, well, they're well known, even if they are not so applied attacks against the reassembly of the intrusion detection system. Well, Snort has proved that they can be, in a certain way, it can be protected for them. So we plan to apply almost the same techniques. But right now, we look only inside we look at every single packet. So if the packet is fragmented in multiple IP datagrams, for example, then it will be examined in that way. So there were some attacks of fragmentation inside the DARPA, and Poseidon, let's say that Poseidon responded in a good way, but right now I cannot tell you, oh, yes, it's fragmentation free. No, I can't. But let's say that, yeah, somebody has thought about it before, so I think that if I apply almost the same technique, my intrusion detection system can work almost in a good way. Yes? Yeah, that's the last question. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's possible. Well, I told you, right now we need to benchmark the architecture and the whole system more. So there are, of course, conditions that we didn't think yet or that we didn't apply yet. So, but, well, let's say that it's promising, that it's something that I didn't see in this shape before, in this form before. Okay, thank you so much for the attention.